When I was a high school student, I graduated in 1969, there was a book called The Population Bomb, and it predicted massive famines. And so that intrigued me. I've always been interested in feeding people. And so it was in high school where I decided that I would start looking at feeding people. Originally thought I'd be a human nutritionist, but as I got into college, I decided I'd rather work on the supply end of it. So that's what got me into agriculture. The Nebraska wheat crop, I think, feeds roughly 20 million people their annual consumption of wheat. And the genetics, the part that I work on, feeds about 4 to 5 million of that just due to the improvements. And because our wheats are widely grown in Nebraska, the program specifically feeds about 3 million people. So not only do we add $500 million to the state revenues at the farm gate by people selling the improved varieties we create, we feed 3 million people that wouldn't have been fed if there weren't for these new varieties. A typical work day on a good day is the sun is shining, it's not too droughty, I'm out in the field and I'm checking my plots. Every field has a story it'll tell you, and what you need to think about is what that story is. And so I have to know how to interpret the data I get from this. I don't like the idea of looking at data and dissecting it as a cadaver. I want to know how it got there. I want to know the life history. My predecessor said there's 3 things you're going to love being a plant breeder. And one is when you think about the cross, because all of these are made from crosses, and you think about what you could get out of it. And the second time is when you go out to the field and you see a line and it's disease resistant and it looks beautiful and it's not lodged and it's the right maturity and no insects are eating it. And then you get the quality data and it's perfect for bread. And you say, my gosh, I know that line's got it, okay? And then the last thing is when that line's grown on 1 million, 2 million, 3 million acres. And you remember when you held all of that seed in the palm of your hand. And so to me, modern plant breeding has just a tremendous impact. But it's also allowing us to use all the creativity that we can. We can use genomics, we can use statistics, we can use, GPS, global positioning satellites to make these plots look perfect. We have just so many tools now, it's tremendous. I think every professor has to be proudest of their students. I mean, I've had over 40 varieties I've released. Some of them have been wonderful, but none of them match the joy you get out of seeing a student, and a student that really succeeds. And I've had a number that have just been fantastic. So I kind of feel like, long after my varieties have been ground to flour or put into dust, what my students will do will be what will really make the difference.